Hey guys.
We made it.
I hope the audio is working. It should be.
It looks like it is, yeah.
Woo! So much fun. We were running a little bit behind. We were filming some stuff for this week's episode of the show. And then I also made some last minute changes to a bunch of other things. So it's all good. Everything is coming along. Sorry, that was our bad. Oh, I'm getting zoomed in upon.
You are.
Okay.
So you look a little bit better.
So, I mean, first and foremost for today's episode, go Birds!
Go Birds!
That said, that was an awful injury for Scadaboo. I was sorry to see that. That's, as much as I hate the Giants, that's tough.
Yeah, I'm deeply saddened because I was really enjoying all the memes of Scadaboo and Dart, so.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. Hope the best for him. Hope that's not a career-ending injury. Hopefully he's able to recover and get back to it next season. Because he does look like he's got a good 2 or 3 years before the CTE takes him out.
At best.
Dude is speed running CTE.
He is. It's honestly impressive.
Yeah. But more to get to the point of what today's episode is about. A lot of you guys, not most of you, but a lot of you, and I don't know if this was mainly people who watch the channel frequently, if this was mainly people who watch the live show, but a lot of people were expressing disagreement with my characterization of events in the Justine Gross case from last Friday's video. Mainly the part where I said that the kid who gave her the drugs should be fined, or arrested, or forced to do something. And I think that a lot of people probably commented prematurely. Before I got to the part of the video where I explained that my roommate in freshman year got arrested, charged, and sentenced for having a bong in his car. So I think one of the issues here might be that Pennsylvania law might just work differently from the law where a lot of people are from.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that states have significantly different laws. Not everything is federal.
Yeah, and there were a lot of comments that were like, why should it's not illegal to give somebody weed. In Pennsylvania, it is.
Yeah, it's still not legal here.
I think, and I thought I said that in the video. I'm pretty sure I said that it's not legal in the state of Pennsylvania, unless it's like, a certain kind. There's a bunch of weird regulations of what is and isn't okay. Point of the matter is, based on what he gave her, that was almost certainly not legal. Mm-hmm. The other thing is that Pennsylvania has a specific law, and again, I understand that it might sound aggressive to say somebody should be arrested and charged with potentially up through negligent homicide, which in the state of Pennsylvania is basically involuntary manslaughter. I mean, they're both felonies.
Mm-hmm.
But people, I think, took issue with me saying that as well and allowed that to color their perspective. But the fact of the matter is that if you give somebody something that causes them to die, in the state of Pennsylvania, that can be charged as a homicide. It might be a involuntary manslaughter charge, but it is still a chargeable offense. And my issue with what happened wasn't so much that the kid didn't get charged with murder. Because, to be honest, looking at it, I can understand why the DA didn't think there was a murder case there. So it's not necessarily that he didn't get charged with murder, it's that he didn't get charged with anything at all. It's that this kid gave a young woman a substance which caused her death. And that he could have prevented this at multiple stages along the way. So to see that happen, and maybe I could have expressed this better, but to see that happen, and then to think about what I watched happen to people I knew in college, makes me wonder what's going on here. Who was this guy that he was able to do something that was orders of magnitude more criminal than what I watched people have to go to court for? How he could get away with that is beyond me. I don't understand. I don't get it. It makes me think that there must be some sort of corruption going on. It makes me think that this is the Center County DA doing something that I watched the Center County DA do over and over and over and over again while I was there, which was treat Penn State students like they didn't matter. And again, this is, in a lot of ways, this is personal experience that I opted not to go into in the video because I didn't think it would be relevant, but maybe it was more relevant than I would have otherwise thought. Being a student up there, the townies, they're generally pretty friendly to students because their livelihood in many cases depends on us. The town of State College was not there in 1855. It grew up around Penn State University. That's the reason it's called State College. It wasn't there. It grew because of the school, and the school and the town are a symbiotic organism at this point. One doesn't really function very well without the other. They both support one another. Outside of State College and the township immediately surrounding it, Ferguson Township, and I think there might be a different one on the south side of campus, on the south side of State College, but outside of the borough of State College and the township which immediately surrounds it, you don't get that same thing. There is Center County treats people from State College who are students like they're not Pennsylvanians. And the fact of the matter is, we are. For the most part, most Penn State students, as far as I'm aware, are Pennsylvanians. So they shouldn't be treated like outsiders, and that's what happens is they are. So what I see looking at this, and again, this is probably colored by my personal perspective, but I think it's a valuable perspective to have now that I've seen the reaction to the video. There is a history of the Center County DA not really giving a shit about students, and that needs to be called out, and that's largely what I was trying to do. The other thing is that, like I was saying, in the state of Pennsylvania, we have laws that do not match many other states in the union. I think marijuana is legal in, I think, half of our states, right? About
somewhere around there,
around there. In Pennsylvania, it's still fully federally illegal everywhere. It's still illegal in the state of Pennsylvania. There is, and I've had conversations with this. I spoke with congressmen while I was a student there about why, when so many people use that drug and it really is at a point where having it be criminal just doesn't make sense. Why? Why is it that it's still illegal? And they literally told me, point blank, this is Representative Tommy Sankey, state representative, not a congressional representative, told me point blank that he had tried. People on the Democratic side had tried. People on the Republican side had tried. The problem was that neither party wanted the other party to get credit for doing it.
Just confirming what your guess was.
Mm-hmm.
38 states have it medically legal, and 24 states have it fully legal.
That's so almost exactly half.
Yep.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania, it's medically legal, but it's not legal as a recreational substance. So giving it to somebody is a criminal act. My saying that this guy should have been charged for that, for giving her marijuana, was not me saying that I think that giving somebody weed should be punishable by imprisonment. That was me saying that he should face consequences for what he did. And if you look at the applicable laws, there was one very obvious one that the DA could have used that I had seen so many people get busted for just 5 to 7 years ago. I'm not that far out of college, guys. I turned 28 in 2 weeks. I was at Penn State during COVID. My senior year was 2020. I graduated in May of 2020. I was there, 2016 through 2020. This is not long ago for me. There is not a lot that has changed. So when I see somebody who gave a young woman drugs, noticed that she was having a bad reaction to those drugs, and then did not ensure that she made it safely into her residence at the bare minimum, and then I think back to the people I watched have, get charged with felonies, misdemeanors, have to do community service, have to go to jail, things like that for something as small as just having a bong in their car. I mean, my room at one point was raided by cops because my roommates were smoking. Cops came into my room. I couldn't do anything about it. I wasn't involved. But they came in and they looked around, found nothing, because as poor students as these guys were, they were actually rather clever engineers. Managed to figure out a way to filter the smell and the smoke out of the room completely. Point of the matter is, this is something that this guy could very easily and under most circumstances would have been charged for. Which tells me that this is the DA playing favorites. This kid's parents are probably donors to the school. Maybe he was an athlete. Maybe the school wanted it kept quiet. I don't know. What I do know is that this is not how things usually go in State College. The other thing is that in the state of Pennsylvania, just giving her the drugs, and this is what a lot of people said, is it's not a crime to share a blunt with somebody. In the state of Pennsylvania, it actually is. Because first of all, some people were like, well, no, in order for you to get charged with distribution, you have to sell it. That's not necessarily the case here. Distribution is technically sale, but if you give someone something, that can be considered distribution because we don't have a gift policy in State College. In Philadelphia, there is. In Philadelphia, you can gift someone marijuana, up to an ounce, I think. In State College, that law does not exist. So I think one of the big issues here with some of the response to the video, and I understand maybe I was overzealous about some things, but I think one of the big issues with the response is that is, in State College, Pennsylvania, a crime. There's also another crime you can tack onto it outside of distribution and possession, which, again, he should have been charged with possession.
I will say another interesting did you look into the district attorney at all?
No.
Okay, so I just did a little bit.
Yeah.
And I found some interesting information about him. He initially was in Wisconsin during practicing law, but he was a plaintiff attorney in Center County, specifically in State College, between 1998 and 2017.
Okay.
And he was promoted to DA in 2018, and still is now, but was a plaintiff attorney in State College for that period of time. And apparently, for those 20 years, holds the 2 largest jury verdicts in the county, including a $16.5 million verdict in 2012 for a woman who was physically and mentally abused by her psychologist, and was senior instructor of trial lawyers at the college. Or at a college anyway. But so the reason I'm bringing that up in particular is because it's extremely interesting to me that this is another case where a young woman was heavily mistreated, to put it mildly.
The defendant.
Well,
the plaintiff. Wait, which you said he was a plaintiff attorney.
He was a plaintiff attorney.
He was on her side.
Yes.
Yes. Confused.
When did this case happen again? Gross
is 2021.
Yeah, so he was the DA during that time.
Yeah. But this other woman,
he was the plaintiff attorney for her. Yes. Yeah. So the point I'm making is that it's interesting that is the largest settlement or the largest, case in State College history where he was helping the woman. And then we have a case here where it seems like a young woman who was in a worse scenario was not helped. Just lending more credence to something weird is happening here.
Yeah, it should have. You would think he would have been, in a situation like that, you would think that he would have been chomping at the bit to get the guy.
Not just because of his position as the DA, but because of his own personal history of being a plaintiff lawyer and assisting in relations like this.
Exactly. So, and that's the thing is, again, as I said in the video, people were arguing with me about it. I'm like, no, it's an open, and there's a reason I said this is an open and shut case. It's because, again, these are crimes in the state of Pennsylvania. He has possession. They didn't search his apartment as far as I'm aware. They might have. The police wouldn't give me straight details. But if they had searched his apartment, they would have gotten him for possession. There's no bones about it. Would have gotten him. Arguably, since State College is not a town where you can gift, it's not a city where you can gift marijuana, that should have been a distribution charge. But even if not a distribution charge, they could get him with furnishing intoxicants to somebody below the legal age of consumption, which I don't know if that's a law elsewhere, but here in the state of Pennsylvania, if you give somebody who is 20 a bottle of Jack Daniels, that is a crime called furnishing. It is a misdemeanor. You are not allowed to do that. Now, usually cops are extremely lax about this because that happens frequently enough within families. Where it's usually considered criminal is when somebody who is not a family member gives somebody alcohol. That also counts for marijuana. Now, again, the State College Police usually pretty lax about this because of all the frat parties. What usually happens on campus if a frat party is broken up is the cops show up, they say everybody needs to leave. Nobody usually gets charged unless someone gets hurt. But you know when that happened most recently? When I was a freshman. I was there. I was a student at the school. One of the fraternities, it was a kid named Timothy Piazza. One of the fraternities had a party. They gave this kid, who was again a freshman, if I'm not mistaken, alcohol. He ended up getting so drunk he fell down the stairs. He had a brain injury. They didn't take him to the hospital because they didn't want to get in trouble for giving him alcohol and then him getting injured. He ended up dying. They were charged. Open and shut. There's precedent. This is no different from that. In fact, it's arguably worse because there was otherwise no crime here. If this kid had just called an ambulance and said, hey, this girl's having a really bad reaction, ambulance would have come, they would have taken her to Mountain and eHealth, and she would have been, given a sedative, calmed down, they would have sent her home. There would have been no punishment for anybody involved. All he had to do was the right thing. Realistically, all he had to do was say, hey, why don't you stay here until you calm down? Or, hey, I'm going to sit with you in your apartment until you calm down. Or, hey, let's call your friends. Let's have one of your friends come by and sit with you until you calm down. There were a number of ways this could have gone that did not result in Justine Gross falling down a trash chute. And this kid didn't think to do any of it because he was concerned about getting in trouble. So what does he do? He gives a girl a substance. Now, I did say in the video that weed doesn't cause you to do that. And in 99.99% of cases, I'm correct. There were a lot of comments, a lot of well-meaning comments saying, marijuana psychosis does exist and it is a thing. And, usually it happens to habitual users and it does tend to appear in women around 19 to 20. Please don't use the exception to the rule to try and make a point. I understand what you're doing. But that is the exception to the rule. 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, 999 times out of 1,000, you give somebody a blunt, they're not going to panic and jump down a trash chute. Okay? Most of the time, that's not going to happen. So the reason I brought it up is that there was concern that this blunt had been laced with something. We don't know if the guy actually smoked it. What we do know is she smoked a blunt, had a severe reaction to it, and then jumped down a trash chute and died. And why is that relevant? It's because Center County has been fighting to not release the tox screen, the tox report. They charged $700 to the parents. There's no HIPAA violation. They're her parents. She's dead. There is no HIPAA violation there. The only reason to not release that or to provide a barrier to releasing it is because you don't want them to find out the truth. So when I look at that, I see, they're obstructing this for no reason other than, potentially to protect somebody. Somebody who, again, I must stress, under any other circumstances, based on a lot of people I watched get arrested, not like physically watched them get arrested, but watched people get in trouble and have to go to court. I saw a lot of this. I was there for 4 years. Any other circumstance, this kid gets charged. Why didn't he? So I think that there's people who are looking at it and missing the forest for the trees of what happened here is somebody committed a crime, a set of crimes actually, that would in any other case have them charged and most likely convicted. But for some reason, the DA didn't do that. I'm not saying that this kid murdered Justine Gross. In fact, I think it's very unlikely that he did. Because if he had, he would have been caught on the cameras. And while I think that there's a lot of malfeasance that can happen with police departments, I think that destroying or hiding a videotape of somebody following a young woman into a trash chute isn't really something they'd do. Also, I think that if they did, Beaver Terrace probably would have done the right thing and said, hey, we know this happened. Because they did. It's their video footage. I can't imagine that Beaver Terrace is going to sit there and go, we know, Associated Property Realty Management is going to go, ooh, we know this kid murdered this girl. We're not going to say anything. Because the lawsuit, if it turns out that they did know that, is catastrophic.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I have to interject here. If the DA and the county is on their side, why would they want it out there that happened?
Because there's currently a lawsuit.
No, I know.
And if that lawsuit in discovery found that the property management company knew, it would be, they would cease to exist. They'd go out of business.
Yeah, but
I worked for a property management company that owned properties in State College. That is not the kind of thing that you play games with.
I hear you, but there are so many companies out there that would rather take the risk and not do it, to not risk the bad press and the subsequent people not wanting to use their product or service. It's just there's so many incidents of that happening in history that, like, to me, it's not particularly far-fetched for them to not cough it up.
The way I'm looking at this is that the risk of not saying anything about it is much greater than the risk of saying something about it.
That's where the decision comes down to the individual company, unfortunately.
Because I know and I agree, but that's what I'm saying is if I'm sitting there as the legal department of a company and I'm like, all right, on the one hand, if we don't say anything and people find out about it, we hit it. And nobody's going to trust their kids to live here ever again. And if the other side is, well, if we do say something about it, people might think of Beaver Terrace as the place where that one girl died. And then in 5 years, nobody will be thinking about it. So just from the property management standpoint, it is much more favorable to come clean. So that's why I think that there's probably no footage of that out there, is that this kid probably didn't shove her down the trash chute. Question is, why did she jump down the trash chute? She jumped down the trash chute because somebody gave her weed that gave her a panic attack. So that person is responsible for her jumping down the trash chute, and that person, therefore, should be punished.
Where does the story of her jumping come from?
I mean, by jump down the trash chute, I mean she went into the trash chute.
No, I know, but, like, where does that...
Found her at the bottom of the trash chute.
Yes.
They found her at a recycling center, which she must have gone down. The cameras catch her running into the trash room, and then she's found at the recycling center that the dumpster at the bottom of the trash chute goes to.
The reason I'm asking is because is there any possibility that she OD'd and she was put down the trash chute to try and hide it?
I mean, again, that comes back down to if it's laced or not, because you can't really OD on weed.
No, understood. But it's again, I'm just thinking of like alternatives.
You got to smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah, but well, also because
it won't kill you; it'll just break your brain.
Well, that's the thing is also like because the tox screen has not been released, we don't know what was in her system.
Yeah. So yeah, theoretically, yeah, she could have OD'd, but the thing is, nobody found her in the trash room.
No, I know. I'm saying process of elimination of the things that could have happened. We don't know who exactly was in the apartment. We don't know how she ended up in the recycling center, but we know that
we have her on camera running into the trash room, and then they found her. That we have her on camera running into the trash room.
But that wasn't released, right?
Not to the public, but like the mom.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
So she definitely ran into the trash room and then went down the trash chute.
Yeah, okay, got it.
And again, unless there's some video footage out there that the cops are hiding that shows that guy walking back up there and into the trash room and then walking out without her, you're not going to be able to get him for first-degree murder or second-degree murder, but you might get him for negligent homicide. And here's my position on it. If I think, again, maybe I could have been more clear. I don't think he should be charged with felony homicide for what he did.
Well, he wouldn't be convicted anyway, based on the evidence.
Yes. I probably don't think he should even be charged for negligent homicide. What I think they should have done is threaten him with the negligent homicide charge to get him to plead guilty to what he actually did, so that you don't have to waste time in a courtroom, so that he just gets punished. Because instead, what you can do if you don't even put that on the table, and you just say, well, he'd smoke weed, he gets away with it. But if you say, well, you know what? Based on what we have right now, we think we can get you for negligent homicide or involuntary manslaughter, but we'd be willing to offer you a plea deal at furnishing to minors in possession of a whatever class it is substance. Most lawyers are going to tell you to take that deal. So why wasn't it put on the table? And fact of the matter is, like, even if he didn't take the deal, they still should have charged him with it. He admitted that he did it. He straight up said he did it. There's no question. It's an open and shut case. He said, she came down for a smoke. I gave her a smoke. And then I walked her upstairs. Open and shut. If you search his apartment, you're going to find weed. You will. You're going to. If you have him drug tested, you're going to find it. Guess what? In the state of Pennsylvania, if you test positive for THC in your blood, that's a crime. Unless you got a med card. And that, by the way, applies to the legal kinds as well. You have to be able to, it could go either way in court, really, depending on how strong the cops have their evidence. But if somebody is arrested for driving under the influence and they test your blood and you've got THC in it, you got to be able to prove to the cops and to a jury that what you took was Delta 8, and it's really hard to do that. You got to prove that it was hemp-derived THC within the legal limit of what's okay. And the cops, if they want, will get you. Again, the issue here is that these laws aren't frequently enforced to the degree they can be. And I think for the most part, that's a good thing because, again, 9 times out of 10, smoking weed is a victimless crime. Don't think you should be going after college students for doing it. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's helpful to anyone. But if it's illegal for me to, eat an edible and also own a gun, it should be illegal to hand somebody a blunt, notice them having a panic attack, and then leave them to their own devices. And one of the things I said to people in the comments section was, hey, here's the thing. If this were a situation where one person even brought up alcohol, they were like, that would be like charging a bartender if somebody, dies because they left a bar and then crashed their car while drunk. And I'm like, in the state of Pennsylvania, that's a crime.
Yeah.
In the state of Pennsylvania, you and I have both worked in bars. Did you have to do? You did in New York, but
it's a thing in New York too.
Did you have to pass the test thing as a barback?
What?
Like a certification program?
No, I didn't know.
Well, I did, even as a bouncer. So in the state of Pennsylvania, if you're a bartender and you overserve somebody and that person then gets in their car and drives home and dies, hits somebody else, causes property damage, whatever, guess what? You're a defendant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is also true in New York. I didn't have to do anything as a barback for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would imagine that's part of bartending school and things like that, and you having to pass that, whatever. But yeah, no, I think that's common in most states where like bartenders have to stop serving you. It's not because they're being, annoying. It's because if you do something stupid after leaving that bar, they're liable.
Yep. There's signs everywhere. Our local coffee shop has a brewer's license. For some reason, it's Phoenixville. It's a special place. But they have a brewer's license, so they can sell beer, they can sell pre-mixed cocktails, they can even sell you shots of liquor, as long as it's Pennsylvania liquor. Even they have signs that say, if you are a visibly intoxicated person, we cannot serve you.
Also, really quick, guys, just as a quick aside, we've gotten a lot of super chats so far. Thank you so much for them. We're probably going to cut them off at 7:45 tonight, just to make sure that we, get through all of them. So you've got another 4-ish minutes to throw in your super chats if you have questions that you want answered. And then after that point, anything that comes in after 7:45, we are not going to be able to get to. Appreciate it, though. So if you have those questions, throw them in now. Anyway, please continue.
Yes. My main point was that people were attacking things I said in the video, I think largely because they don't understand that I'm not saying that smoking weed should be a crime. I'm not saying that leaving somebody who's having a panic attack in their hallway should be a crime. I'm not saying that hiring a lawyer and not talking to the cops should be a crime. I'm saying that when you put a whole bunch of different little negligent things together, including some of which are criminal, in the state of Pennsylvania, you should face consequences.
Mm-hmm.
If this girl had not died, I wouldn't say a word about this guy, going to prison or going to jail. I would say if she had ended up having a panic attack that led to something else happening and she was fine, that, if she turns around and tells the cops, yeah, that guy gave me bad drugs, yeah, he should probably be fined or have to do community service, mainly just to keep things fair.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, I watched people who didn't actually commit a crime have to go do community service. Adjudicated community service for having a bong in the car. Not the weed, just the bong. Why is this guy getting special treatment?
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Well,
and that would be my problem whether or not she had died. But the fact that she died on top of it and he wasn't charged, unfathomable.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my defense of my position in the video for anyone who cares, if you even care.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem, I just on a brief Google search, because I was wondering, it sounds like whatever this would be, the phrase should be negligent intoxication.
Yeah.
And apparently
that is a crime.
That is a thing. That is in fact a thing. And it would seem, I don't know where exactly it is, but just on brief Google search, it's not like it's unprecedented.
No, it wouldn't be. And that's a comparison I kept making, is like, if this guy had gotten her drunk, to the point of being blackout drunk, and she had wandered up the stairs and fallen down a trash chute, he would have been charged. It's not about weed. It's about the fact that she was intoxicated. Do something else. He gave her alcohol. She wanders out into the street and gets hit by a car. Guess what? He's getting charged. So I don't understand why this guy wasn't. That's my point, is that something is not right here. This guy should have been charged with a crime, not because what he did is horrifically wrong, but because what he did is a crime that other people in State College get charged with all the time. So what was special about him, and why did the DA care that something was special about him? Those are my problems. It's the inconsistency of the thing.
I do think sooner than later it's going to be good to go to Super Chats, because
I'm basically at the end of my rant. So.
Well, and also there are a lot of direct responses to some of the things that you're saying. So I'll start going back. But is there anything that you would hope that, just as a final thought as I go back, is to kind of go through some of these?
Sure.
After having done everything, after having looked at it, after having talked to some people on the ground, what would be kind of your hope that moving forward things would change?
I mean, on the ground part, that was the part I forgot to talk about. Obviously, we started the show 15 minutes late because we had tech issues. But what I was appalled by is that students didn't know about this at all on the ground. We were talking to people. They were completely unaware that somebody had died because somebody else gave them an intoxicant. That's not just an issue of marijuana. Students need to be aware when these sorts of things happen so that they know this is possible. If you're just a kid who's, maybe smoking a joint, you're not thinking most of the time about, oh, this might be laced. Or, oh, what might the consequences of this be? People should know. People should know that that's the kind of thing that can happen. And people should be aware that somebody got away with it. I just can't imagine. Because, again, when somebody died in a similar circumstance, when I was on campus, we all knew. Every single one of us knew. I mean, maybe if you go there now and you ask kids, they don't know. But I still hear people who were not there when it happened mention Timothy Piazza. Why do people know his name and not Justine's? What is that?
Yeah.
What happened there? So I think people should be aware of these things. I think that they should know. But more importantly, I'm a little concerned about just how few people had any concept of that. Like, did you hear that a girl died in such and such apartment building a few years ago? I would expect the answer to be, yeah, I heard about that. They might not know every detail, but I would expect them to have some idea, some awareness. It was very weird to me that people didn't. Because everybody, almost everybody we talked to still knew about Betsy Ardsma. Like, if you say Betsy Ardsma, they might not know, but you say the girl who was murdered in the library, everybody's like, oh, yeah. Fewer people know about Cindy Song somehow. But, I mean, if the university is going to be the kind of place that it wants to be, there needs to be honesty with the students. They need to be able to trust in the school, in the town, in the police. I do want to apologize to the University Park Police Department, who had no fault in this whatsoever, because there was a bit of an editing error where their emblem was used instead of the State College Police. I also want to say that I think the State College Police might have their hands tied here, and it did feel like they wanted to tell me things, but couldn't. So, I don't know. I think that what we found when we went on the ground was that People knew about something that happened over half a century ago. Don't know about something that happened 4 years ago, and that's concerning to me. And I think that's where the media failed. And I wonder why the media failed. There were some stories in the Collegian about it, but none of them went into a ton of detail. I even reached out to some of the reporters who wrote those stories, and I won't say which one it was, but one of them was trying to pull the, you should really talk to the family before you put this video out. You don't want to drudge up any old trauma for them. And I'm like, they're actively in litigation. The only thing I'm doing is spreading awareness of this. And also, yes, the family's feelings matter. So does the public awareness. I mean, is journalism at a point now where we can't say anything because it might offend somebody?
Yeah, it's a weird take for a journalist to have.
Yeah. So, and it's just the preachiness of the thing. Like, don't preach at me. I reached out because I thought you might have some integrity. Apparently you don't. Like, also, what do you mean you wrote an article on this and you don't know anything other than what you wrote in the article?
Yeah, no, there is absolutely journalistic editorial that happens with every article. There are always going to be things that are left out because they're not vital to the story. Unless you're writing a book where you can add in every possible detail you come across, things are going to get left out. There's actually legal precedent for the reality of that situation because you have to choose which facts matter the most. And if something is left out, you can, like, people can call it libel or slander, and the reality of the situation is like there is like civil legal precedent about that specific entire breadth of journalistic ethics.
Yeah, I was not enthusiastic about receiving that message.
Yeah.
I might have it. Do I?
While you look for that, I will say I think we're going to do something a little different tonight, and let me know if you're interested in it. Since we're cutting everything off at 7:45 and we're answering everything from there, thoughts on starting in reverse order to be able to address questions that are directly relevant to what we're talking about now, and then kind of...
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
You can do that.
So,
as long as we get through all of them.
Yeah. In that vein, while you look for that, Jack Everfree for $10 says, items were found in her apartment, so someone may have helped her and she ran afterwards. What are your thoughts on that? Items were found in her apartment. It was a double thing, but essentially, items were found. What are the thoughts that potentially someone may have helped her and she ran afterwards?
We go over that one more time, just because I was checking to see what the message was.
Yes.
But I basically said everything the message said.
So. Yeah. So basically, just in Justine Gross's case, items were found in her apartment. So someone may have helped her, and she ran afterwards.
In her apartment?
To my understanding, that's what Jack is saying.
That Cindy's song, there were some things found in her apartment. Justine, her stuff was found in the stairwell.
Okay.
So no, it does not appear she made it into her apartment.
Fair.
Also, the cameras would have caught her if she had. We saw those cameras.
Fair. Tyler Dalrymple says, I feel like the guy's big moral failing was abandoning her. I don't feel like any other part of this is out of the ordinary.
Yes, I completely agree there. His moral failing was abandoning her. Unfortunately, abandoning someone in a hallway in the building they live in is not a crime. So in order to punish him, you have to go for one of the actual crimes he committed. Kind of like how they did not get Al Capone for any of the stuff Al Capone actually did that they were chasing after Al Capone for. They got him for tax evasion. This is the same kind of thing. This guy did something wrong. He gave her a substance that led to her death, and the big moral failing was him not taking care of her until she was okay again. Again, not saying he should go to prison, but there should have been consequences. And when you have options at your disposal to provide those consequences, I'm going to question why you didn't take them.
Yeah, makes sense. Wolf Lord Brand is saying, can you please address your interview section? You were asking very leading questions, and you flat out asked if she had been murdered.
Yeah, part of that was to get attention from people. If you ask less sensational questions, they might just shrug at you. In each interview, I did proceed to explain that there actually hasn't been, evidence that she was murdered, but there was somebody who died. And yeah, they were leading questions. I won't deny that. But at the same time, when you ask somebody, are you aware that somebody died in Beaver Terrace? and they say no, there's really no further questions you can ask about their feelings on it. What you can ask is, would you feel more comfortable if the Center County DA, did his job?
Yeah.
And that's not really a leading question. That is just, would you feel more comfortable if law enforcement was good? Most people are going to say yes.
Yeah. And again, the conversation generally ends there.
There wasn't really another direction to take the questions.
The only way we might have...
I can't ask anything further. So I had to get to the meat and potatoes of the issue, which is the DA didn't prosecute this. Would you feel more comfortable if he had?
Yeah. The only way maybe we'll change it in the future is say potential murder.
Yeah. Also, I'm not a journalist.
Yeah. There's also that.
Oh.
Yeah. And then... Okay, yeah, so Light Raven was saying that Wolflord dropped a theory that she could potentially have hit the chute to vomit, and if she was disoriented and panicking, potentially have fallen in.
I mean, there was a trash chute on her floor, too. Why'd she go up to the 11th? She clearly thought she was being chased for some reason. Mm-hmm. Which is the other kind of unsaid thing about it, is I couldn't think of why she would think that. But she clearly thought she was being chased. Because again, the last time he sees her, she's on the 10th floor. She ends up on the 11th. There's no cameras inside of the stairwells. We were in there again. So I don't know. The one, and again, that's part of the reason I didn't bring it up, is because there's zero evidence that he was waiting for her in the stairwell and that he spooked her. Why did she run into the stairwell? What happened? Those cameras don't have audio. Did he say something to her before he left her in the hallway? Until I see that footage, I'm not going to have a strong idea of what happened after they parted ways. But no, I don't think that it's very likely that she ran upstairs to throw up into a trash chute when there was a trash chute on her own floor, and also she could have just gone into her own apartment. I don't see even though it was clearly irrational behavior, I don't see what the series of events would be to cause that to happen.
Yeah, even irrational behavior generally has some semblance of logic to it.
Also, you wouldn't have to crawl into the trash chute to throw up down it. You would open it and just puke.
Yeah, and it was low enough to where if she was going to throw up into it, she would have been in a crouch position.
Yeah.
And would have been very unlikely for her to have fallen in. The only way I could see it is if she somehow was there long enough that she either passed out or fell asleep.
Yeah.
Leaning up onto it.
Yeah.
But then, again, that just feels very unlikely.
Exactly.
So
the other thing, and I don't know how much this made it into the video, you had to pull a latch on the trash chute.
All of that was in there, yeah.
Yeah, you had to pull a latch on the trash chute to open it. So it wasn't something you could really do accidentally. You didn't have to hold it open, though, right?
Correct, yeah. Once you had pulled it down...
all the way, it would stay down.
Yes.
But that's the other thing, is that means that she would have had both hands free to prop herself up if she was throwing up.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I'm thinking is if she was in the classic, leaning like that kind of thing. But again, there are so many reasons why she would have gone to her apartment and not there.
Exactly. And again, I will point out, had this kid walked her into her apartment, this wouldn't have happened. Or at the very least, he would not be responsible.
Yeah.
I mean, he still would kind of be responsible for giving her the drugs in the first place, but if he walks her into his apartment, it's going to be really hard to present a case.
Yeah, at that point, he fulfilled... other than giving the drugs, he fulfilled all standard of care that would have been expected of him.
What he should have done is either not let her leave his apartment until a friend came and picked her up, or waited outside of her apartment until a friend arrived to take care of her. Again, because if the issue is, people might say, oh, well, what's the optics of him, going into the apartment with this girl who's clearly not doing super good? It's like, or keeping her in his apartment. He could have stood guard by the door. Again, I went there. I was a student.
Mm-hmm.
I know how I cared for my friends when they were too drunk or too high or whatever. I know how they cared for me when I was too drunk. Nobody ever left me to my own devices like that. except one time when I was on muscle relaxers and fell asleep, and I don't know, somebody probably should have stuck around, but not the point.
Fair enough.
I woke up upside down on my couch, still wearing my cowboy boots. Ethan, I know you stole those, by the way. Mr. Sophomore.
Incredible. Empire 44mm for $50. Thank you very much. Says, sent an email to y'all about, what is it? 4/19/1995 OKC.
Okay. I know, that's, I believe, McVeigh.
Okay, got it. If y'all are going to do that video, I would be more than willing to share my research.
Yeah, I will probably get to it. I don't know exactly when. If I do, it will most likely be closer to the date of when it happened. I'm mad that was 20 years ago this year and we didn't get it.
Flight Risk asked the same question about vomiting into the chute. And then Dr. Glorfindel... I
can also say that never once crossed my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who ever went into a trash room to throw up down the trash chute.
That is a last case scenario.
Again, it's anecdotal, but I was there for 4 years and I didn't see or hear about that once.
Dr. Glorfindel says, Mattis running for office to legalize weed when?
This is not my job. I am... oh no, I'm not brave enough for politics.
Yeah. Very much so. Leah Thurling has been a member for 9 months.
Oh, thank you.
JMO, the preacher of the milk, says there's 2 options for you, Mattis. Go gym or read Berserk. One or the other. I've been waiting. Also, Thornberry, have you touched Vinland Saga? I have looked at it a little bit, but I've not probably read it because I don't even get to read the books at my own home that I want to read.
I will once again remind the class that, like Aiden, I don't have time to read the books I actually want to read, let alone the ones that I don't want to read because I know they're going to scar me. Also, I would love to go gym. I was going gym, and now I have a bum UCL. So, I think I'm probably going to start looking into physical therapy for this because it's not getting better.
Oh, it's that bad, huh?
I don't think it tore because I feel like it would have hurt more if it did. But it still hurts to do things with it. Like, hurts if I overextend it too fast, and yeah.
No, that's annoying. Ask Lore gave us 2. One of them is a screaming element of the Finno-Korean hyperwar and also muscular Christianity.
I will probably do Finno-Korean hyperwar around April Fools.
There we go.
Muscular Christianity just isn't really in our wheelhouse.
Yeah, maybe for Weird Bible.
Maybe.
Local Legends Martin Moran, how you doing, Bird? Says, wild how many strange deaths happen on campus.
Yeah. It is unfortunately all too commonplace, both from normal means and also things that I think have gone under the radar of the police, like with smiley face killer stuff. You know, I don't think that there's we're going to be having a guy on to talk about that. I got to get back to him. I totally let that slip. But he was recently working on a series for iHeartRadio that I was actually interviewed for about Tommy Booth. And iHeartRadio just fired him and tried to tell him that he couldn't keep any of the materials that he actually owned that he used while he was making his series. So we're going to bring him on and see what he has to say, because he has some interesting thoughts about it. Based on what I've seen so far, I don't know that I agree with him, but I want to hear him out. So he was a great interviewer, very, very polite, very, willing to have disagreements, and I think he's a good guy, so I would love to bring him on sometime soon.
Looking forward to that. Sick from the Kush says, very fitting for today, says, you're not throwing out due process, you're just calling out the people who didn't do their job. I thought you were being too harsh at first, but then I got hit by it at the end.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad I'm glad you understand that that's my position, is that I don't think that due process shouldn't have been followed. I think due process should have been followed.
Yep.
And it wasn't.
Also, Christian is letting you know the news.
Yeah, I know, Christian.
Yeah. For those of you who aren't aware, Mattis is a massive Carson Wentz apologist, and so he's not having a good day.
Better. He deserved so much better than what we gave him.
Where does the origin of your affinity for Carson in particular come from, aside from just being an Eagles quarterback?
Part of it is that his first season was my freshman year at college, and so
okay,
I was starting a new period of my life. I was an adult finally, and I just have good memories associated with that Eagles team.
So Carson is kind of a amalgamation of an emotional experience.
Yeah, I just remember watching that season of football and being like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
What it to have a good team?
Hope. To me, Carson Wentz was hope.
Yeah.
That we might actually get there.
Yeah.
Also, he was just so fun to watch.
Yeah.
He was like Josh Allen if Josh Allen were even better than Josh Allen is, and Josh Allen's great.
Fair. We did get there with Hurts, though.
Yeah, it wasn't the same.
It's because you weren't in college.
Also, he just doesn't look excited about anything ever.
See, that's kind of the fun part for me. I love that he's like a Terminator. He kind of reminds me of the Max Verstappen of the NFL. So I enjoy that, but I can understand for somebody who likes a more emotional response why he's less fun.
I was like, come on, man. He also does. I feel like there was a certain leadership quality there that I don't think is there with Hurts. It seems like he is never the leader of the team. It seems like Barkley is right now on the offense, and like they brought in Graham because they needed somebody
from like a figurehead perspective. You mean?
Like it seems like Hurts is a workhorse. He does the job. He does the job pretty well most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't strike me as an inspiring figure.
Yeah, he's kind of like, if football were a parliamentary system, he is the head of state, whereas Saquon Barkley is, the queen.
Yeah, so. Also, I hate Alabama. The University of Alabama.
No. I figured.
He played for them.
No, yeah. I was more putting together the pieces in my head of like, right.
Yeah.
Penn State versus SEC guy. There's going to be some.
It's also why I hate Justin Fields, despite the fact that Justin Fields probably hates himself more than anybody else hates him. And Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, I can't stand. I think he was Ohio State.
I just don't like Dak Prescott because of how much they talk about him for no reason whatsoever.
God, he's never done anything, man. I gotta look this up. Was he Ohio State, or am I mixing him up with somebody else? Mississippi State. Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I just hate Dak Prescott because he's on the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, like, dude, why are you always in the top 10 quarterback conversation when you can't win a divisional game?
It's because it's America's team.
Yeah.
Zach Littlejohn says, hey, I'm a huge fan of y'all's podcast and a huge thanks for the Canada episode. As a Canadian, I found it hilarious.
Which one?
Yeah, I was going to say, we've done multiple.
But I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
Feather Dragon says, love from Saskatchewan, keep on keeping on. Thoughts on farms and fields being an underutilized horror setting?
Maybe recently, but I feel like there was a long period of time where they were being used pretty consistently.
Yeah, there definitely was. I'm surprised factory farming hasn't made it to a horror movie style yet. Part of the reason I bring this up is because while we were watching the game on Sunday, there was a Qdoba ad.
Yep.
And I was like, there's a new one in town. It took over the Moe's. I've never been to a Qdoba.
Oh, Qdoba took over Moe's?
Yeah. The one in Oaks. Yeah.
There's two Qdobas in like 1 mile of each other. That's wild.
Yeah, I know. But so I'd never been to one. And once it took over Moe's, that was my first exposure to it, or at least the first time I noticed one existing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, how does it compare? What do I need to know? So I Googled Qdoba, and within about 30 seconds of being on the Qdoba Wikipedia page, I saw the label lawsuits.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Never good.
No, it's never good, but it is entertaining. Apparently there was one where they were, they had a settlement for like several $1 million over an element of factory farming. I can't remember what the name is right now, but it was essentially, and it's very popular, unfortunately, in the pork industry, where you take pregnant pigs and you put them in crates where they can't move. Yep. And you keep them there throughout the entirety of the pregnancy, incapable of moving, and they just lay there and exist.
Uh-huh.
And, everything that shouldn't belong in their crate just falls beneath them. And then they're in another crate after they give birth, so that way the babies can feed, but then the mother still just is forced to remain in a laying position on her side.
What's the point of this?
The point of it is preventing aggression amongst the sows. I believe sow is the term for female pig. Turns out the other alternatives to preventing the aggression,
it's just have them in independent pens where they're not with each other.
Yep, it's just give them more space and make sure they're well fed. Also known as humanely raising animals.
Yeah, that I just don't see any good reason to do that.
It's just purely because if you put them in crates, you can fit more of them on every square foot of land that you own.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
I have nothing against eating meat, but there's no reason to be cruel.
Yeah. Yeah, factory farming doesn't get talked about a lot, but there is a lot of just horrible stuff that happens.
That's why I like ranches.
Yeah.
Because the cows roam free.
Yes. Ranches are good. Anyway, sorry for the shock value of that one, but I think it's important to remember where our food comes from.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason I wanted to get into hunting, because things like that make me mad. Next,
I want to make my stew with venison. So if you get any venison, I want to try doing that.
I have to get out into the woods.
Well, yes,
first to get it.
If you do get some.
I know that, but that's my biggest problem. I just haven't had time.
Give me a chunk and I'll make some stew.
Will do. Oh, trust me. If I get a deer, or if Wags anybody gets a deer, I think we're all getting parts, and there's going to be a big feast when it finally happens. I just need to find the time to get out.
Fair enough.
Next is going to be from Wolflord Brand saying, it was the sheer vehemence of what and how you said it. You were condemning him and demanding with the same tone as in your Gabby Petito works, referring to, your presentation.
I think in some part of that is because it's so close to home for me. But, and again, I think that was, most of that was directed towards the DA, not towards the kid himself. I'm pretty disgusted with this kid. Mainly because of how he handled it after the fact. And because I had been in similar situations when I was a student at the same school, in a building 150 yards from his, where I watched people make the right choice and made the right choice myself over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And then watching him make the wrong choice and make such a wrong choice that someone died and have there be no consequences, it makes me sick.
Understandable,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, part of that was definitely how close to home it hit.
Moving on, Arbor Irrigation Installer says, muscular Christianity when I have 3 weeks till I have to look good in booty shorts. I'm trying to pick up Window Seat each night at Warped Tour.
God, I have to get tickets to get down there. Oh, it's going to be so expensive.
I was going to say, isn't that in like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh, you're coked, dude. I'm not trying to be mean, but woof.
I know.
Also, hang on, I gotta scroll up a little higher because Trent Ortiz sent multiple.
Oh.
Trent is saying, seconding the invite to Lancaster County, especially Ephrata/Northern Lancaster County. Lots of weird and interesting stuff here, and also will buy beer, or will provide beer. All I can say is, I cannot accept for the next 3 to 5 business years for how much beer I bought for our Halloween party on Saturday, not realizing the number of people that were actually going to show up because the amount of other things that other people had going on, like weddings and stuff like that. So yeah, I had way too much and still do, and need to find reasons and people to help get rid of it.
I forgot what the comment was. I have a headache. What?
Come to Lancaster, I'll provide you beer.
Oh yeah, I like Lancaster and beer. Well, I don't like beer, but I like Lancaster and I'll drink beer. I don't hate beer. It's not my preferred beverage.
Yeah. He's a whiskey man.
Yeah. But no, I've been meaning to get out to Lancaster. I want to go to Shady Maple again.
I don't think I've ever actually been.
Oh, we got to go to Shady Maple. It's not good food. It's just decent food, and there's a lot of it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
You don't go to Shady Maple for good steak. You go to Shady Maple because you can get 12 steaks and nobody's going to stop you.
I see. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, L the Sasquatch with a shotgun says, "Gentlemen, would you have any interest in attending Gun Gamers Productions Frostfall event at Skirmish in Albrightsville in January?"
Yes.
Yes, I'm not sure what that invite entails, but yes.
It sounds like paintball or airsoft, I would assume. I think I've been to Skirmish.
I have played paintball, but
yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
That sounds phenomenal.
Give us more info, please.
Yes.
Next we have Ellen the Howler Werewolf Queen for $50. Thank you very much. Says, Mom and I heard a true crime case that isn't getting a lot of attention. If Mom emails you the video, would you consider covering it?
I'll definitely consider it. I finally am testing out somebody for an assistance role for research, but I might also open that up a little bit. I was talking to you and Amanda about it. Just to be very straightforward about it, what I'm doing right now is I'm offering $250 for a bibliography if I use it, an annotated bibliography, $500 for an outline. So, kind of where I'm currently at.
Yep.
Because I am at the point now where I would much rather be spending 2 weeks doing a deep dive on something than trying to find stuff I can do in 1 week, which is kind of where we're at. It would be nice to have something where it's like, all right, I can still do my deep dive, but then also not have to spend 2 days doing all the research for something just to find sources. Because one thing that keeps happening is I'll be like, okay, I'm going to look into this. And then I spend 2 days researching it, and I get to a point where I'm like, there's just nothing here. There's nothing to make a video about. And then I've got to write a video in 3 days, if I'm lucky. So right now I'm trying to find people to do... The bibliography is honestly the biggest thing, because if somebody hands me a bibliography for a topic, I can still do all the work myself, but at least I know there's enough there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where I'm at, and that's, I think, a good value for that level of work. About $25 an hour for 10 hours of work, so which is about how long that takes me, usually.
Yep. Yeah. The last part of that was the 5-year-old victim deserves to be able to feel safe again after what happened to her.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get me the material on it, I will definitely give it a look. I'm also going to set up a form that goes to a Google thing for people to just submit tips.
Yeah, that'd be smart. Biggles567 says, did you make that name specifically to get somebody to say 6'7"? I need to know.
I understand why it's funny.
Do you remember 21?
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing.
What?
It's the same reason why that was funny to us in like middle and high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't remember why that was funny either.
Exactly. There was borderline no reason, but we thought it was funny. But yeah, Biggles says, praise be to Gomb.
Oh, well, of course.
Yes. He's getting a following.
He is, and that's... I need to start a cult so that he doesn't.
I was going to say, yeah, you might have a rival cult leader within the own cult.
There's already factions within the cult.
Yep.
It's not good. Especially because it's not even a cult, it's a ranch. It's a conceptual ranch. It doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Oh, man, is a conceptual ranch that has adherents a cult?
Not if it's consensual.
Conceptual? Read the next one. This is giving me even more of a headache than I already have. I haven't eaten food today.
Dude!
I forgot. I wasn't hungry this morning because I ate way too much yesterday. And then I woke up and my tummy hurt. So I didn't eat. And then I finally started to feel a little hungry around like 3. At that point, I was like, I'll just wait for dinner.
That's fair.
And now I'm at the point where I'm not hungry at all because my body's like, oh, we're not eating today. Cool.
I just realized now I'm hungry because you just reminded me. The cat said she's going to make pasta and meatballs tonight.
Yeah.
So
reheating some chili she made.
Yeah. So I may be fed when I go home.
She's also making me zucchini bread because she's just the best.
Nice.
Yeah. We should do Indian this week.
I'm so down. It's not even funny. I literally last night I was sitting on the couch and I was like, I would kill for right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's the duality of man. They make such good food, but they also make so many scam calls.
It's a big country.
The duality of India, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the downside of having the caste system for so long that is still arguably in effect to some extent.
Not officially.
Not officially, but
anyway,
a real cartel pilot who's been a member for 5 months says, "Go Jim Brothers! I want my lean lactose lads calendar."
Ow! Ouchie! Ouchie
Your
my
bones?
joints. Well, ouchie my ligaments, really.
We could theoretically still walk uphill.
True. It's just frustrating because like I can't do curls.
I know that is your favorite.
My favorite. Can't do them anymore.
My favorite's bench.
I do like bench press. Remember that one time that guy told me I couldn't bench 225, so we went downstairs and I just ripped 225 cold.
Yeah, and you hadn't been in the gym in like a year and a half.
Oh, I miss TikTok.
Yeah.
I miss when I actually enjoyed TikTok.
You could just like
also
mess about.
This seems like a good opportunity to tell people. I'm trying to pay for a wedding, and that's hard. So if you guys want me to say things, you can actually pay me $25 to say things on Cameo. It's just Aiden Mattis on Cameo.
I don't have one. I don't have enough reason to yet.
Yeah, but no, I'll say whatever within some degree of reason. Some degree of reason.
Yeah, it's valid.
No slurs. At least not any that are recognizable.
Except for like log pusher.
Log pusher's fine. Clanker's fine.
Oh yeah, when are we gonna play Battlefield 6 together?
I know I'm playing the Battle Royale with the guys tomorrow, and we only have 3 people in that squad as of what I know now. Also, if you want to play tonight...
I'm probably gonna have to spend time with Kat.
I'm with Amanda. It's the same way.
Potentially.
Okay.
Depends on how busy our rest of the week is going to be with the research.
Fair. Yeah. I know the Battle Royale is coming out tomorrow, so I'm definitely playing tomorrow. I might stream too.
Yeah, let's bank on tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. Gomb, or no, hang on, no, I almost skipped something. Aiden Herman, yes, that's right, says, "Hey y'all, love your content. I'm a huge fan. I've watched almost everything you've dropped so far. Gotta say, I love both of your first names." Well, thank you.
Oh yeah, thank you. I like yours too. Is it spelled the right way?
It's Ayden.
That's different.
Yeah.
I'll accept it.
Yeah.
I'll accept it.
I knew a girl in college that I became friends with through other friends who spelled it similarly to that way. Mm-hmm. We always clowned on her for it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Speaking of Gomb, who has changed his name to Gomb, Windussi Breeder Eternal Highwayman, because, he's still driving back from Blobfest.
Still, yep.
Yep. Saying, if tech difficulties don't stop, then Chimp, JMO, myself, and the rest of the Anti-Mattis group chat will have to unionize the lodge, milk to all.
What Anti-Mattis group chat?
I think it's just because they started messaging in Thornbury General, and I occasionally responded, whereas you did not.
You've been fomenting rebellion again?
No, I just occasionally existed.
Yes, all right. Well, I will say this. Sedition will be met with swift and violent justice.
Do we know what the justice is going to be?
Violent. Also, haven't you cost the Discord enough? We had voice chats, now we don't.
Gomb, what did you do?
That wasn't Gomb, that was Chimp, allegedly.
Chimp, what did you do?
Allegedly.
This is how little I'm on the server anymore. I didn't even know voice things were gone.
I want them brought back. We're just gonna have to put something in the rules that says like, hey, we can't police the voice chats. If somebody says something that offends you, we probably won't be able to enforce anything about it. So just be aware of that.
Also, yeah, Kat, the gonna have to was not a thing of obligation. It's because I didn't get to see you all night. I'm going to have to do that. It's like if you give a mouse a cookie, you're gonna have to get him a glass of milk. It's not an obligation. It's just part of the deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mr. Dilo, member 14 months, back again saying, hey,
What is it?
No.
Is it make Windussi great again?
No, it's way worse.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm going to come around.
The only way I would consider reading that is if I was going to do the Nosferatu voice.
What? What?
You must make it clap. Insane or star. Do you not remember those memes from like last year?
I didn't see the movie.
The memes were all over the place, though.
I don't remember seeing the memes.
You must bounce on it. Crazy stuff.
No.
Oh yeah,
I do
that was
not
the meme.
remember this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Ah, okay, that's awful. It's terrible.
Yep. That's TikTok for you.
See, no, I can't do that because I will get canceled. With flamboyance, I'm too good at the voice.
Oh, you were gonna do that.
Well, with flamboyance.
Oh no, you have to make it.
Clap on it. Insano style.
No,
That's what I read.
I think the flamboyance was just how you're supposed to clap, make it clap on it.
Also, I'm not sure what that means, brother. Clap on it?
Dude,
You guys need a lot of things, including both psychiatric care and Jesus.
Gum says, "Hey, B-boys," I'm not saying the full word. How's that quest to order a latte in Old English going? How about the week-long Aragorn and Legolas LARP? Of course, the calendar, too.
Well, the calendar is on hold until I can hoist once more. I forget the week-long Legolas and Aragorn LARP thing. I forgot we had to do that. And the latte in Old English, I'm not sure you could. I'm not sure how to... Because there's definitely no word for coffee in Old English. Nor is there a way to express a wish for steamed milk.
Really?
Hot milk, sure. Not steamed.
I mean, steam existed, though. Did they just not have a word for it?
I guess you could... I mean, theoretically, I guess you could do that. Not sure if they did have a word for steam specifically.
Because, like, I'm imagining, like, if they were boiling water and, like, they saw what was coming off of it, like, did they just call it, like, water smoke?
Yeah, the word for it means to emit vapor.
So they had a word for vapor?
Yes.
Wow.
You're never going to believe what the Old English word for steam is.
Strame.
It's steam.
No way.
Well, it's probably steam.
I'm so
But
excited.
yeah, they had a word for it.
How old is the word locomotion?
It's a combination of Latin words. Of course, you want to know how old. Yeah, it's locus and motio. So locomotion is mid-17th century.
It's earlier than I thought it was going to be. Or sorry, later than I thought it would have been.
Really?
Yeah, because 17th century, 1600s.
Yeah.
I would have guessed like 14 or 1300.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Anyway, what else? What else is there?
What else is we have? Kellen, hang on, wait, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, Kellen says, off topic, but when we go to war in the Pacific, if you needed to forage for food, remember the average PLA soldier is 125,822 calories, just FYI. Also, what do you mean war in the Pacific? Looks like we're going to war in the South Atlantic, brother.
Yeah. So I need to know how many calories a Venezuelan is.
Yeah. Or an Argentinian if the bailout goes sideways.
You know what? As a Teddy Roosevelt devotee, I can't even criticize this. Just the Monroe Doctrine.
Remind everybody what's in the Monroe Doctrine.
Europe, stay the fuck out of the West. We'll handle it. Basically, America is the emperor of the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Which it was more about Europe staying out than it was about us being the world police, but also...
My question is, who violated the Monroe Doctrine first? Europe or us going into the Middle East?
Oh, it would have been long before that.
No, I know.
We went into World War I.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, the Spanish were over here doing Spanish stuff.
Yeah, but they were also here doing that before the Monroe Doctrine existed.
Yeah, I know. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, Teddy was like, speak softly and carry a big stick.
Yeah.
And Trump's like, I don't know about speaking softly, but this big stick thing sounds great.
Did you say he was like, we're just going to kill people?
We're just going to kill people.
This isn't a political show, but politics do be happening.
I'm going to build a big, beautiful ballroom. We're going to get rid of the East Wing for it. Now everybody suddenly cares about an office building.
I think the big thing that everybody's upset about is it's not the first time that we have modified the White House. It's just the first time we've done it for something like this.
They literally built a ballroom in the East Wing.
When?
Like 1942. In order to build a bunker under it. At taxpayer expense. This is a completely contrived situation. There is...
But are they building a bunker now?
Probably. Back when they started complaining about it, I'm pretty sure most people thought the East Wing was just the eastern half of the White House.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that still do.
I would understand if he was planning to build like a steel and glass black building with a golden Trump logo on it. That would be bad. It sounds like he's just building a new building in the same neoclassical architecture style to put a ballroom in it. Because right now we do all of our White House events under tents in the lawn. There were a lot of things to criticize Trump for. This isn't one of them. Obama built a taxpayer-funded basketball court for more money than this cost.
Really?
Yes.
How much was it?
I'm pretty sure like $360 million.
See, that's the biggest thing about everything that's going on right now is that nobody brings in the context.
Yeah, all of these were wastes of money. Hillary Clinton's like, you know, watching movies in the theater in the East Wing was one of the best experiences being president or being first lady. And I'm like, okay, I don't care about your nostalgia, Hillary Clinton. Like, is this really what we're focused on right now? Like, we've got all these things going on and you're throwing a fit about a president adding something to the White House, something that has happened a dozen times in the last century. Really? This is the big deal? Can we maybe focus on something relevant like the brewing war in the Atlantic?
Or the government shutdown.
Or the government shutdown. Or Israel and Palestine not understanding what the term ceasefire means. It's like, he's not even using taxpayer dollars for it. I didn't vote for the guy. I'm not a Trump supporter. This is stupid.
Yeah.
This is a stupid thing to be up in arms about. It's completely contrived. And it's just making me lose faith in all of the people who are throwing a fit about it.
Yeah, isn't the big thing that everybody's upset about? It's not taxpayer money, but it's he's planning on using it with the settlement money he's supposedly going to be getting from a lawsuit that is against the U.S. government. That one I hadn't even heard about. No, it's what I was seeing was, oh, well, this is just, you know, his big donors getting to pay a bribe. And I'm like, it's not even going to be finished by the time he's out of office. They're like, well, he doesn't plan on leaving office. And I'm like, okay, now you are literally no different from right-wing conspiracy theorists. He left office the last time. Like, why would he not do it this time? It doesn't help that Steve Bannon's out there on, I think it was either CNN or 60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Saying, did you see what he was saying? Yeah, Steve Bannon was he literally said, he was like, Trump will run in 2028 and he will win.
I don't think he will. I don't think Vance would let him.
Yeah, I feel like both parties don't want that.
Yeah. The Republicans are, as a party, very ready to say goodbye to Trump.
I think everybody just needs to remember that there's a reason we have term limits for everybody.
Yeah, it's also, if you guys don't stop crying wolf, nobody is going to believe it when the wolf shows up. Oh my God. Stop. He's not a fascist. A fascist wouldn't let you march in the streets crying about how he's a fascist. Is he a little bit more authoritarian than we're used to? Yes.
And that is worrying.
Do we need to understand that there's a difference between somebody being a relatively authoritarian president and being a fascist? Yes, those are different things. Is he nationalizing industries and taking private ownership away from people in order to serve the state? No, he is not. I mean, the fact that I didn't have to read The Doctrine of Fascism until college is worrying. We should have people reading that in high school, because fascism is a defined thing.
We never read it in any of my schooling.
Exactly. I only read it in college because I was taking a Western Civ course. But fascism is a specific set of characteristics, just like communism. This country is not careening towards either of them right now. Like, it's just not. But constantly, I don't know how we haven't taken note of the trend where if you start calling everything something, people just give up on being moderate. Like, people are giving up on moderate positions because they're so tired of being labeled extremists for no reason. It needs to stop. It's gotta stop. 80 to 90% of Americans are probably in agreement on 80% of issues. We need to stop propping up the people who are actually extremists.
We're also in a situation in which we need to stop focusing on our differences and we need to start focusing on our similarities, because, guys, we're all people. We're
Get
all
off Twitter, go outside, talk to your neighbors.
Yes.
Like, if you're a Democrat, go talk to your neighbor who's a Republican. If you're a Republican, go talk to your neighbor who's a Democrat. You guys are going to realize really quickly that you're being manipulated by the media. I mean, I have so many friends who are Democrats. I have so many friends who are Republicans. I'm pretty centrist on a lot of issues. I find myself agreeing with both sides more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
Because for the most part, everybody wants the same things. It's just a disagreement over how we get to them.
Yeah.
And, you know, the few people who are constantly banging the drum. I mean, I watched a video of a guy backed a UPS truck up to a Coast Guard station and, like, disobeyed orders to stop, and the Coast Guard opened fire. Do you know, as a protester, how in the wrong place you need to be to get shot at by the Coast Guard? Also, everybody's like, I can't believe they opened fire on an unarmed driver in a U-Haul. You know what blew up outside of FBI headquarters in 1995 in Oklahoma City? A box truck. Stop pretending not to understand things. I'm sure I could think of an example of the right doing the same thing, but this just happened last week, so that's what's fresh in my mind. But yeah, don't drive box trucks up to barricades.
Or if you're going to, make people aware of it beforehand.
Yeah, probably just don't do it. Like, don't back an unauthorized box truck up to a military barricade. You're gonna get shot. And honestly, when you do, it's your fault. That was a really dumb thing to do. Don't do that.
I will say the White House press requirements was not a great look.
That was the Pentagon.
The Pentagon, yes, sorry. Pentagon press
Well, I mean, when you keep telling people in Pentagon press conferences, like, hey, guys, I'm telling you this so that you understand what's happening, but you can't release it to the public yet. And then they do it anyway. That is a breach of trust.
Yeah, I mean, there is a difference between giving background and giving something on the record. And if they were consistently violating background, that's a different story.
And that's the frustrating thing about it, is it's like, there's this tweet that I saw a little while ago, and it said, it was specifically targeting towards leftists, but I think it works really with both sides, that so much of discourse is just people pretending not to understand things, therefore making discourse impossible. That's like 99% of what I see from the media right now is like people just pretending not to understand context.
Either that or they're just cognitive biasing themselves out of the capacity to do it.
I think for the average person, it's probably the latter, but for the people in the media and the politicians, I think it's 100% the former.
Well, it's because the division makes the money. That's all it is.
It's ridiculous. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I hate both of them.
Like we said, this isn't a political show, but politic do be politicking.
Yeah, it do be.
Anyway, moving swiftly along, ladies and gentlemen, we got Dino Nuggies in the chat saying, I have yet to find the milk. I still have to finish my bachelor's and then get my teaching license and master's. It's a long journey, boys.
It is a long journey.
Yeah. Hopefully, by the time that you are teaching, the students don't drive you mad and make you want to quit. Because the amount of people I know who went into education and are either leaving or have already left because they can't stand it because nobody parents their children anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
It's bad. Next we have Pseudo Legend for $10 saying, howdy lads, hope y'all had a good weekend and have an even better week. May your pillows always be cool and your teeth warm.
Pillows be cool. Like that. Teeth warm. Now I'm thinking about it.
To be fair.
I don't like thinking about it.
To be fair, I don't like cold teeth because brain freeze kind of vibes.
Yeah, it's just like it's like your bones are wet. It's just I don't, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it now. Yeah. Although my teeth don't really get cold. My weird English teeth with so many fillings that I could just bite into ice cream and it's not a problem.
Yeah, it's not.
I know. It always freaks people out when I it's like
the old chomp.
Well, that's the thing is like, sometimes it's melting too quickly, so you just chomp, and then everybody's like in shock and horror.
Yep.
Kind of like shock and awe.
Don't like it.
Shock and horror.
Don't like it. Yeah, there you go. I gotta go eat food. Come on, let's listen.
Yeah, I hear you. Joke IRL for member 7 months says, if you guys were any more late, I was going to start unionizing the Discord. Why is everybody threatening to unionize the Discord?
Yeah, as if I won't hire the Pinkertons.
So you don't... Moving on. Cybane member for 12 months.
Thank you.
And I believe Gomb, who's been a member... Oh, 2 more. Gomb, member 12 months, or 27 months, sorry. Says, fun fact... I have to read this first. I have to make sure this is okay.
Gomb, your membership is a 2-year-old.
Oh, yeah, no. This is... Yep, yeah, and it's actually, you're not going to like it, though.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact, on January 1st, 2026, the oldest member of Gen Alpha will be old enough to drive in the U.S. Mattis, you are old. Wendosi will be your legacy.
Gen Alpha is 2010?
I believe that's the start, yeah.
Ugh. No, I hate that. Stop. I don't like that. Gen Z are still kids. No. Oh, wait, no. That means that everyone Gen Z is over 16.
Yeah.
Everyone older than me is a millennial.
You're 97, right?
Yeah.
95 is the cutoff.
Yes. I guess.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because what is the... It's 95 to what? 2010?
I guess. That would make millennials 80 to 95.
So does that mean 2026 is the start of a new generation?
Theoretically.
So that'd be Generation Beta? That sucks for them. Oh.
Our kids, dude.
Yeah. Woof.
Yeah,
I'm
we're going to
have
Bravo. A new name.
Bravo. Operation Bravo. Generation Bravo.
Bravo 6.
There you go. Going dark.
This is my son, Bravo 6, and my other son, Going Dark.
Horrid. The last thing is from Lo-Fi Chloe is a new member.
Ooh, thank you. Hope that you're hi-fi one day. Hope you get there.
That'll be nice, unless, that's
unless you don't want to be. All right. Well, thank you.
Oh, also, Girk sent you a cameo request.
Good. Yeah, please. No, that wasn't a joke. I need money. Send me cameo requests. They can be whatever you want. I do reserve the right to say no, but you'll get your money back if I do. So take a shot. Maybe I'll say it.
There you go.
All right. Well, I need to go eat food.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
I die.
I got a 20-minute walk home.
You want to ride?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a ride.
Thanks.
All right. Bye, guys.
See you later.
See ya.